Hello everyone, my name is Evan D. Pasquale, and today I'm going to be talking to you about a topic that can seem somewhat controversial, but it's something that I'm very passionate about and something that I feel like needs to be taken care of. And that is paying college athletes. I am not a college athlete myself. I am in college. I pay for books and stuff like that. But when you look at it, do you know how much work a college athlete puts into his time in school? I did a research essay on this very topic back in 2014, and I did a lot of research on figuring out what needs to be done and what needs to be changed. The first thing I'm going to mention is that did you know that a college athlete spends 43.3 hours per week on his or her sport? That's 3.3 more hours than the average American work week. And they get paid money, and just to see how much money is put into the NCAA with making billions of dollars every year from college athletes, and they don't see a penny of it. And that's what we're going to talk about today. I think personally that we need to start paying college athletes because college athletes put so much work into it, and yet they don't receive the benefits of getting maybe a paycheck. So, some reasons why we need to pay college athletes. Not only do college athletes, work so hard at their craft and they've waited their entire lives to finally be able to play at the collegiate level, it definitely deserves a chance for them to be able to learn how to, not only be able to make a salary, but also how to work with money. And yes, you could say college athletes are usually put on a scholarship and they go to school for free. That's a benefit though. But like if they want to go out and get food or something, or say they want to get some clothes or some shoes, they have to go outside of their, they can't pay for it themselves because the campus doesn't offer them money because of their likeness, because they are considered amateurs according to the NCAA. And also think about the coaches that get paid. College football coach Dabo Swinney for the University of Clemson in 2019 gets paid over $9 million. That's incredible for a head coach, and all of his student athletes who don't see any of it. And even Mike Krzyzewski gets paid $8 million. And that just shows how much the college is putting towards coaches rather than putting money towards possibly helping the athletes. And in 2013, the NCAA made $1.5 billion with a B in advertising revenue compared to the Super Bowl's $220 million. The Super Bowl is the biggest, like single day sporting event in possibly the world, and that the NCAA can make more money with that than the Super Bowl is incredible because everybody knows all about the Super Bowl. And that's according to Salesforce.com, which I did some research on. And a last look that said 60% of former NBA players have gone broke within 5 years after retiring from their respective league. And that is that's according to CNBC.com. Again, I think the big thing that we need to think about when if we pay college athletes, is teaching them how to be smart with their money. Because if they're not smart with their money, then they'll end up with this 60%. Now, if I think one thing that needs to be done is, if you are going to pay college athletes, have every single year they take a class on how to manage their money or something like that. Every year, no matter what, if you've already taken it, you're still going to take it again, just because the importance of money is very, special, and you don't want to end up becoming part of the percentage of athletes who end up going broke because of they were never smart with their money once they got into the professionals. Some problems with not paying college athletes. There might be people that are not even on a scholarship, where they're paying for their own education, their own books. They're a walk on, and they're also putting dedicated hours into playing for their team. And as I mentioned earlier, fewer than 2% of athletes end up making it into the professionals. Think about that. You are 2% of college athletes make it to the professionals. And again, I mentioned that 60% of NBA players end up going broke, which is a big problem it's not within like 15 years or 30 years. This is within 5 years. 5 years, that's just about, you could have been making all this money, and then within the years that you probably could have been in college for 5 years, and all your money is basically gone. And there's also temptations for taking gifts and taking monies. We've seen a lot of times, like, for example, Zion Williamson, one of the best college basketball players we've seen in a long time, ends up getting a little bit in trouble with taking stuff from, getting gifts. Think about Reggie Bush and how he was he was one of the best running backs in the NFL, and then he ends up getting charged with getting gifts and stuff like that. So there's always a temptation there for being able to give a college athlete no money, is that they could even go out there and just be like, if they're incredibly good, there's that temptation of possibly getting those gifts, which is a ban in the NCAA. So some solutions, I feel like, for paying college athletes, it would not only help out the students with how they'd be able to go out to eat for lunch or something like that, but it would also be able to help their families. It said in a 2013 study, they found 86% of college athletes live below the poverty line, and that's according to a westerncarrier.com. And that was done in 2013. Now, it could have changed, but at the time, you got to think about how incredible that people could have been infected, how it could help people who are in financial need and need money, and this could help them because, again, not all athletes end up making it to the pros. And again, college athletes can learn how to deal with their money, because if you take if you end up taking their money and you use it wisely and you invest in something, say a house or something like that, it could benefit you. It won't just bite you in the butt and you end up losing your money once you've earned it. So those are some solutions for paying college athletes. And not only you should pay college athletes, but there's always other things that are surrounding to paying college athletes. Some positives that would pay, to help paying college athletes. It would help offer an financial benefit for families, like I mentioned earlier. This idea would reduce corruption for student athletes, because there's always that temptation that you're high up on the mountaintop, you should, and what are the chances that you're going to go pro? Might as well take it while you can. Uh, and the best athletes might be willing to stay in college longer. I mean, for the NFL, you can't you can't be eligible for the draft until you are about uh, once you go through your junior year of college, and that could be a problem for that could be a good thing, because if you have the best athletes there, then the NCAA is going to make more money because more people are going to want to watch the best athletes. So it's basically a double dip. They're staying longer, and even if they don't end up going into the professionals, they're getting their 4-year degree and getting an education. And if they don't make it into the pros, they'll end up finding a way to do something else, earning a living somewhere else in their degree of choice. Uh, Without paying college athletes, who knows how many basketball players would go into the G League. There have been a lot of talks that amateur high school basketball players decide to spend 1 year in the G League, earn money instead of going to the playing NCAA basketball and not earning a penny. Now, credit, they probably would only be there for 1 year, but if you are paying more athletes, it could end up making you want to stay in school longer. And so with this, I think that it would mean a lot to me if you could show support on why we should pay college athletes, and just to help not us, but help people who are, the college athletes that are trying to find a way to make a living, and maybe football isn't it, or whatever sport they're doing isn't it. It could end up leading to something better. So thank you for taking the time out of your day. I hope you will take this and end up wanting to support any college athlete and making them want to earn some type of wage, whether it be small or big. So thank you for your time. I'm Evan DePasquale.